Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving deep into the ongoing escalation between Russia and Ukraine. Recently, Ukraine used long-range missiles to strike Russian territory, breaking a crucial red line that Russia had set. President Vladimir Putin wasted no time in responding, announcing the testing of a new missile, the Orchid, for the first time on the battlefield. This missile has the potential to carry multiple nuclear warheads, signaling a dangerous new chapter in the conflict. Ukraine's challenge to Russia's red lines is significant. It wasn't just any missile strike. Ukraine has been using British and American long-range missiles. This is more than just an escalation. This marks a turning point. It indicates that NATO has now firmly entered the conflict, supporting Ukraine with advanced weaponry. Russia, meanwhile, cannot tolerate these strikes on its own soil. However, the shocking revelation came when the Kremlin confirmed that Ukraine had launched 13 long-range missiles into Russian territory in the past 3 days. In response to these attacks, Russia is gearing up for retaliation. Putin has made it clear that they will not back down, and rumors are circulating about new, powerful military tactics being employed by Russia. Moscow is not only testing new weapons, but is also preparing for a massive counteroffensive. Meanwhile, NATO is also preparing for its own preemptive strike against Russia, further intensifying the situation. In terms of military strategy, Russia has begun using human wave tactics, something reminiscent of the tactics employed by Stalin during World War II. Russia is increasing its recruitment of soldiers from countries like North Korea, Yemen, and Syria. Putin is focusing on overwhelming Ukraine with sheer numbers. These waves of human soldiers are meant to overwhelm Ukrainian defenses and make rapid territorial gains. At this point, this is no longer just a Russia-Ukraine conflict. It has the potential to evolve into a global war. The rising tensions between Russia and NATO are nearing a boiling point, with both sides preparing for possible confrontations. NATO, in particular, is exploring options for a precise preemptive strike against Russian targets. With all the moving parts, this could very easily spiral out of control into something far more dangerous. As things progress, Russian forces are making significant headway in eastern Ukraine. According to the latest reports from the Institute for the Study of War, Russian troops are advancing rapidly, particularly in the Donetsk region. There are even predictions that Russia will soon capture Donetsk, which would be a massive blow to Ukraine. In response, Ukrainian forces are struggling to maintain their defensive positions, and Zelensky himself has acknowledged that they no longer have the human resources to push back effectively. The reality on the ground is that Russia is not only gaining more territory, but is also recruiting foreign forces. Reports are flooding in about North Korean, Yemeni, and Syrian troops joining the fight in Ukraine alongside Russian soldiers. These foreign reinforcements are essential for Russia's military strategy as they attempt to break through Ukrainian defenses. This strategy is making it harder for Ukraine to regain the territory it lost earlier in the conflict. With Russia's success on the battlefield, NATO's role in the conflict is becoming more critical. President Biden's reluctance to send more heavy weaponry to Ukraine contrasts with Blinken's more aggressive stance. But NATO is still playing a pivotal role in arming Ukraine, and the situation remains fluid. Ukraine has been increasingly relying on these advanced weapons, including the British-made Storm Shadow missiles, to target deep within Russian territory. However, this development marks a critical change in the rules of engagement as NATO's direct involvement becomes more apparent. The pressure on both sides is mounting, with Russia making significant territorial gains. NATO is considering its options. Russia has issued stern warnings, and NATO has taken steps to prepare for a possible preemptive strike. The tension between the two sides is palpable, and the global community is watching with bated breath. The situation is getting more complicated by the day, with the potential for a wider, more destructive conflict growing ever closer.